Hey guys, welcome back. Glad to have y'all. Today we have a 1v1 on Arabia, and I'm going to show you what might be one of the worst lames I've ever seen. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know that if it's laming that's being featured, usually it's me laming someone. Well, in this video, someone's going to lame me, or should I say, attempt multiple times to lame me. Now, on Arabia, I typically don't go for laming right off the bat unless I'm playing as Vietnamese, but another Civ that's really easy to lame with is Mongols, and that's because, let's go to his point of view. If you go with your scout forward, you get a pretty big line of sight as Mongols, and it's really easy to come forward and scout out maybe a rhino or a boar, and maybe even steal a couple sheep. Now, I'm going to be scouting around these sheep. I knew it was risky. I didn't actually lose any sheep. I initially thought that I lost these two because when I saw a scout forward and I didn't find my sheep immediately, I thought, oh no, he's taking it. Well, here's a little mistake that I made, which could have hurt me. And that was, I knew where both my rhinos were, and I still took the one that was further back first. I should have taken the one that was forward first. That's pretty standard. And so Teal's going to come forward here, and he's going to see this rhino, and decides he's going to attempt to take it, as we see here. So he's already lost 20 of his hit points from attacking the rhino. And now begins the long and arduous journey back to his base with the rhino. And I've tried to do this before, and I am horrific at doing it, so I understand the struggle. He actually gets this rhino all the way back to the TC. Let's speed it up a little bit. All the way back to the TC. And if he had moved his villagers out in time, boom, they would have got it. But he didn't. Just a second or two too slow. And now I realize that my rhino is gone. He tried to lure it back, has 2 hit points left on his scout there. And so I said, because I realized he had taken it. So now he's sending this villager all the way forward. Well, meanwhile, I think at some point he lures his own boar at home. Let's see. Pretty sure he did, from what I remember. Well, maybe we'll have to check back in on it. So he actually caught up to the rhino and was able to shoot it again. So now he's taking it back. And he does have loom, but he's taken quite a bit of damage. Now, if he had a scout here, he could block the rhino from killing his vill. Oh my goodness, the quick walls. And now he's lost one vill, and he's sending another vill to go get it. Oh, and here we go, another vill. Boom, right there. So he's down 2 vills now because he's trying to do too much all at once. And if he's not careful, he'd lose another one. So finally, he gets a rhino underneath there. So he lost 1 vill there, 1 vill here, and is now forcing all this idle time on this vill as he comes all the way forward to get this rhino. Now, I make a little bit of a whoopsie myself here. I don't have loom, and I should have used my scout to block with this villager to keep it alive. And that was a misclick there. I meant to garrison him in my TC. I don't think he would have. So I did lose 1 villager. And now he's these ostriches and zebras here. Coming out here to mill them anyway, so it's like, okay, not a big deal. So when we go check the villager count, between him losing 2, but then also just not keeping his TC working all the time because he was, focusing so much on other things, and me losing 1, our villager count is 23 to 18. Now, he did just click up to age, and now he has 19 actually, and I'm still creating vills, but still, at that point there was 5 villager difference, and it would have been 6 if I hadn't have screwed the pooch and accidentally lost a villager there. So taking my rhino that I wonderfully got back, and taking these ostriches that I did this because I thought that I didn't get my second rhino and I didn't get my goats. So at some point I will realize my goats are still there. I did get my rhino back, and I even pushed an ostrich in from over here as well. So I'm doing all right on food. And now that all this excitement has slowed down just a little bit, he's actually trying to push them in himself, looks like, with his 2 HP scout. Let's talk a little bit about who we have here playing. I'm going to try and say the name Tiro Concerte, maybe. Is from Chile and is, it's a ranked 1v1, so we're both high 1100s, low 1200s, depending on whether it's a good day or a bad day. Yeah, there he goes. He gets that ostrich a little bit closer to the TC, but he has a goat sitting here rotting away. So I'm not too sure about all that. So he is in feudal age now. Meanwhile, I am 70% of the way up to feudal age. Went up on 24 villagers, which is probably pretty greedy typically, but it is what it is. So I do not like walling off my base. I really just prefer having all the forward pressure going at them. But I kind of expected a lot of pressure from a Mongol player. Typically what Mongols do is they prioritize getting their hunt, which is what he's doing here, and he tried to lame, my boar, which would have been huge for him because of how fast they collect hunt. And they usually get scouts out, and so then they hit you hard and fast with these scouts, and you're just sitting around looking silly because, they have all this extra food from hunting. So I thought I got this walled off. There's actually a 1-tile gap back here on this back wood line. I'm just going to let them get in. So I went ahead and preemptively created a couple spears just to make sure that I had some kind of defense. And I accidentally clicked a militia guy as well. Oh, man. And he's doing a little bit of walling too, probably expecting, because Khmers, and this is how I usually play Khmer, I usually play them fast scouts into fast knights. And the way I do that is I like to click up on just 15 villagers, 16 total pop, and get up there quickly. And here come the scouts. And then I like to get a lot of damage, maybe like 3 or 4 vill kills, and then quickly go up to castle, which is really easy to do with Khmer because you don't have to drop any buildings. Now, he was actually really smart coming around on this side, so I'd have to walk past him to try and get to my TC. Now, I garrison these villagers in houses. Khmer's the only civ that can garrison villagers in houses. Unfortunately, we'll lose that villager there. So that was a pretty good pickoff for him, and he also caused some idle eco time. And funny enough, I initially thought he ran in on the back wood line here. He actually just ran right in between these houses here, and I didn't notice it in time. So that was not good. And while all that was happening, I didn't realize that the guys I had sent forward just got completely mopped up here. But at least did cause some idle eco time, so that's good at least. Got some pretty good hit points on there. The KD is 0-4 to 3-2. That's because he's gotten 3 kills. But he's also lost 2 vills, and I think I just got my first kill. Oh yeah, killing those scouts there with some villagers, trying to block off that hole there, and getting some more hit points as well with the town center. And he silly ran right into my spears and loses this. So I don't think KD looks a little bit better, 3-4. So going forward here now, he's adding in a lot of farms, which is pretty indicative of him wanting to do scouts or camels or something like that. My dogs are so loud. They're so excited to be let inside the house from the garage. Anyway, finish up these berries here, going heavy on gold, and thinking about clicking up to castle pretty soon. Need more farms, honestly. Let's see. Resource-wise. Oh, actually, I have plenty of food in the bank. I just need some more gold. Going really heavy on gold. I have 12 on gold. And now he's just trying to harass and get some value out of this 2 hit point scout, which is not going to do a whole lot. Just dropping some more houses. And something else, if you're watching this and you've seen some of my videos where I talk about don't ring the town bell, you're going to see me ring the town bell a couple of times in this video. And the reason why Let's see if we can get past this lag. I lose it there. The reason why I ring the is because when you are getting raided and you ring the town bell, it puts the villagers into whatever closest thing possible. So typically you don't want to ring the bell because they're going to be walking all the way back from wherever to try and get into your town center. But here they just hop into houses. So it's faster than trying to select every single villager and individually place them inside of a house. So just if you ever play as Khmer. So, unit composition, what are we going to go into? Normally, as when I play as Khmer, if I'm on an open map, and it's not like Hideout where I want to do like an elephant chop, you know, Khmer chop or something. If it's an open map, I typically go scouts into knights, and I just do a ton of knights. Well, in this situation, I know I'm playing, and Mongols have access to camels. And so I think, personally, that he would probably expect me to go into knights. So if he expects me to go into knights, there's a good chance that he's going to go into camels. And if he doesn't go into camels, then there's a good chance that he would go into try and get an early castle and get Mangonel up. Either way, if I go into crossbows and get fully upgraded crossbows, they're going to do pretty well. Excuse me. They're going to do pretty well against either Mangonel or camels because the camels low pierce armor. So I made the decision that instead of going double or triple stable knights like I normally do, I'm going to go double archery range crossbows. And I'm in Castle Age. He's almost in Castle Age. I have 39 vills to his 33. So at 6, probably soon to be 7. Yeah, 7 villager lead now. For myself, which is pretty big, especially with a strong economy like the Khmer have. So let's check on what he's doing. He's building stables. He's got 2 stables up now. He has his blacksmith as well, and that's something you're going to see later. Is I kind of delayed getting my blacksmith upgrades, and it's going to hurt me a little bit further down the road. And that's one of the problems as Khmer, is not having to build the buildings and not realizing that you need to get the blacksmith up as fast as he really should. And he's coming out here to drop another town center. So he upgraded his pikes, which is kind of interesting. Like I said, I think he really expected me to go into knights. He actually just revealed that he has a hole right there in between his houses. And so between the defense and then the camels, I think that's really... Let me slow this down. Really not appreciating this lag. Whatever reason, my computer is just not happy today. Took forever to boot up, and now it's taking forever to get to this replay. There we go. Alright, so now he has 6 camels here, and he's getting some upgrades on them as well. And he's sending these camels forward. And what does he run into? Well, he runs into a town center that's forward, collecting those woodline and this gold. Spears and a bunch of crossbows, something he was probably not expecting at all. Comes running around here. Can't get into the woodline. Tries to get in there. Can't get in there, and is pushed away by this army. Villager count is 55 to 47. And just starting to amass quite a large army. And revealing a gap there as well. So I over chopped here. This is unfortunate. And he's going to run a camel in here. At some point. Yeah, I think he actually... He came back there on his own. Hear me, AOE2 gods. Please stop the lag. At some point, I will invest some more money into getting a better computer. I just don't have the additional funds right now to put into this. Oh, it can be so aggravating. He's really booming back home though on 2 TCs now, and now he's going into knights of his own, which makes sense because knights are going to do much better against crossbows than camels will. They already have their base armor plus the 2 armor, so 4 pierce armor versus just 2 for the camels. Now military is 47 to 25, KD 68 to 54. So you see how the small events of what happened at the beginning have kind of cascaded into a bigger snowball, and it's just a snowball effect that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Coming over here, added a 3rd town center in as well. Really want to take advantage of getting as much map control and resources as possible. Here he is, not really getting any value out of these knights and having to run away. And so he decides, rather than try and fight my army, he's just going to run into my base. Once again, it's just not easy to do this against Khmer because I can ring the town bell and everybody just starts popping into houses, and then what are you going to do? Attack some walls? Go for it. And actually trying to keep him inside of the base because I'd prefer him be stuck. But there is a gap right there between this house and this wall here, and he can run around here. But that's fine, I'm just going to garrison instead of my 3rd TC. And all that, I mean, he caused some idle eco time, but really just didn't really gain a whole lot out of that. And I think he's kind of at a what do I do now point. And so he's adding in scorpions, which, I mean, they make sense against archers. The problem is, the only thing you have to defend them is knights and camels, and I'm going to start adding in some more pikes as well. So, big engagement here. I realize he has... Start pulling back here. Start opening up the formation of my archers as well. Really don't want to lose my archers to these scorpions. So I send my spears forward to attack the scorpions and then target the camels to take them out, knowing they'll go down pretty quick. And then it's just a matter of taking out these scorpions quickly. Now I've got quite a bit of damage on some of these remaining archers, so I decided I'm going to add in a monastery so I can start healing them up, maybe get a conversion or 2, and start collecting relics. And I came over here as well to collect this woodline. And I want to show you something that I noticed whenever I was watching it from his point of view, and that was, well, at some point it'll show me. At some point he's going to drop a TC foundation right here where my TC was at. So we have the same idea as far as where to put a TC at. And he runs in here again and gets stuck again. So that army is going to go down. And finally building a forward castle. He's in Imperial Age though, which is not fantastic for me. Forcing me off this wood line. And he's expanded out to the left flank. Adding in a lot of farms. More town centers. I do have a lot of military, over double the military. And still 4 more villagers. And he got the Cavalier upgrade coming around over here, and so you can actually see the town center foundation. And he puts that there, which is, you know, 275 wood and 100 stone, and he never deletes it. He'd send a couple villagers forward, and they end up getting shot by my town center. So not a lot going on there. I don't care if you have Cavalier or not. So I started adding in outposts. I want to see what he's doing, where he's collecting things as well. So with this one of these villagers over here, I'm going to build some stables at some point. Here we go. Stables coming up. Some fighting going on here. Got the Arb upgrade, getting some Trebs out. He's got quite a bit of Cavalier. 23 there, another 7 over there, so 30 still alive. And he lures my army away with these Cavalier over here, so he can come in here and snipe these trebuchets. Really well done on his part. Got a little bit of peanut stuck on the back of my throat. And now here come the Mongol capped rams. Will be siege rams soon. And they do have drill, which is a unique technology that the Mongols have, which make them so much faster. So I started adding in some Hussar spam, which is going to be really good against the Scorpions and really good against these rams. Got a conversion there as well. Initially a pretty bad engagement for me. He's coming up with his Scorpions even under castle fire. Sniping Trebs, took out a ton of Arbs because I had them spread out. I should have had them balled up, but the Scorpions would have done really well against them and balled up. So I'm not happy about the fight so far. So even sending villagers forward just to make these Scorpions retreat back so I can keep my Arbs working and I have to keep pulling them back. So starting to collect some Hussars over here as well to prepare for a raid. And now regrouping. Now he did get the Siege Ram upgrade, which is a pretty expensive upgrade to get. And they're so fast and so strong. Coming in here though with these Khmer Hussars, which are so easy to spam. I mean, you have so much food. I mean, he has a lot of food too. He honestly could be spamming a lot more units right now. I mean, 2,600 food in the bank. And let's see. I have 1,000 food in the bank, but I have a lot of units queued up, and he could probably queue up a little bit more. Really wants to take down this castle, and between these siege rams, between these siege rams and these trebuchets, he's going to take it down. But it's a huge investment that he's really lost, you know. And I'm just going to rebuild a castle a little bit further back. Meanwhile, the raids over here are doing really good, forcing him off of gold, not letting him take it in safety, even raiding his woodline as well. Because he doesn't have anything defensive at home. In fact, I don't know if he has any other castles except for this one right here. Yeah. So this entire flank is wide open. And the KD is really, it's actually just, it was even a second ago. 148 to 148, 149. Yeah, so we're neck and neck right now. But it's going to slowly start snowballing more and more and more. Now, this is what I was talking about, not having my blacksmith upgrade soon enough. I only have 7 attack on the first armor upgrade, which is a bad oversight on my part. And against these Mongol light cav, they have 98 hit points, so they actually have 3 more hit points than my Hussars, and he has better upgrades on them as well. So, not the best situation, but thankfully I have Halbs as well, and they're going to help even that out. Dropping this castle here now. And he's sending some pikes over here, but that's not going to be enough. Really pushing over here. The unit composition I have is doing a really good job versus what he has. And I got this castle up as well. And I think at some point I collected, 4 of the relics. There's only 1 relic left over here. And really took out a lot of villagers over here. 272 kills to 190. Oh, and there was the end. Kind of surprised me. 273 to 190. So the villager count over here, killing these villagers, was huge. Ran in over here, started killing his stone miners as well and farmers. And he realized that it was over. But man, that lame attempt at the beginning though, that was really, I almost quit. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh man, I'm lamed. I've been lamed. Oh no, I lost my boar. I think I lost 2 sheep. Ended up getting my boar back and found my 2 sheep. So sometimes you guys just gotta hang in there, you know. you might be thinking it's worse than it really is. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you guys next time.